Alright, in this section we're dealing with graphing linear equations using slope, and sometimes they give you a point, sometimes they give you 2 points, and sometimes they give you the slope and a point. It just depends on what the question gives you. But I want to run through a couple questions, and hopefully this will be enough information to get you through the whole section. First off, can you find the slope? So slope, you've got a formula for slope. It's right here on your formula sheet. You subtract the y values, and then you subtract the x values, and then you divide the two. We discussed slope in the class about what it is and how it describes the steepness of a line and such. But here we're going to put everything into use. So we're given 2 points. So our 2 points are -8, 7, and 2, -9. And it says here, determine the slope of a line that passes through the points -8, 7, and 2, -9. Okay, so I wrote those down. I'll move that out of the way. So we're going to subtract our y values. So our y values are 7 and -9. Now notice I'm going to subtract the -9, okay? And then -8 minus 2. Notice that I did it in order. 7 minus 9, 8 minus 2. I had to do that order. The order has, that's what the y2, y1 business means, and the x2, x2, and the x1 business means. Anyways, negatives become positives. So 19 and 7 would be 16. -8 and -2 would be -10. And we reduce that down would be, 8/5, I believe. Now you can write that as 8 over -5, or -8 over 5, or negative on the front. All three of those are equivalent. That's how you find the slope of a line. Well, let's try out another one. We're given the same question. Determine the slope of a line that passes through points -8, 6 and -8, 3. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing. We're going to subtract the y values and subtract the x values. So the y values would be 6 minus 3. The x values would be -8 minus -8. Those become pluses. And what you wind up with is, 3 over 0. Well, you can't divide by 0. So this is undefined. Our slope here is undefined. Okay, now if I graph this, look at what kind of line this is. -8, go back 8, up 6, go back 8, up 3. Well, this is a vertical line. So whenever you see undefined slope, you can automatically assume it's a vertical line. Okay? If you see a vertical line, you can automatically assume that it's going to say x equals whatever the x value is. That's the equation of that line. So if you ever see x equals, it's automatically vertical, it's undefined slope. If it's undefined slope, it's automatically vertical, it's automatically x equals a number. That's how you describe those equations. Good thing to know that. Okay, we're going to know, you need to know that through the whole course. Okay, let's do another one. Same question, just the points have changed. Looks like it's determine the slope of a line passes through the points -9, 8 and -1, 8. So if I subtract my y values, I get 8 minus 8 over -9 minus a -1. 0 over -8. Well, now 0 divided by 8 is 0. So the slope of this is 0. But check out what this line would look like. I'm going to go back 9, up 8, over back 1, up 8. Horizontal line. Slope is 0 is a horizontal line. You remember what we said about horizontal lines? Automatically, y equals a number. In this case, it was y equals 8. The last one, the vertical line, guess what it was? X equals -8 for this question. That's what the equation of that line was. The equation of this line, y equals 8. So if you see this, you automatically know it's a horizontal line, and you automatically know the slope is 0. Cool. keep that in your brain for a while. Well, that's how you find the slope. Now here's going to be an interesting thing to do. They'll give you an equation this time. They'll say, what is the, we'll just give you an equation. I'll go ahead and write this out. 3x minus 7y equals negative 15. Find the slope of this line determined by this equation. Well, what we can do is this is in standard form of a linear equation, right? ax plus by equals c. If we put this in slope-intercept form, y equals mx plus b, if we solve for y, the number in front of x will be the slope. If you solve for y, the number in front of x will be the slope. It has to be y by itself, though. Okay, it has to be a y by itself. So to get y by itself, you'd subtract off of 3x. And I'm going to put the negative 3x up here in the front. Okay, so I'm going to move the 3x over. Divide everything by negative 7. Well, y equals 3/7 because a negative divided by a negative is positive. And it'd be positive 15/7. This number here is the slope. Since the y value has been solved and got by itself, the number in front of x is the slope. This number out here, we call that the b value. That is the y-intercept. So the y-intercept of this is at 0, 15/7, 15/7. That's easy enough. Y-intercept form. Slope-intercept form is what some people call it. I've heard it called y-intercept form or slope-intercept form. Simply solve for y. Okay, simply solve for y. I always like to color code my notes. Alright, what's next on the agenda here? The questions now turn over to say, write the slope-intercept form. So we know what slope-intercept form is. Slope-intercept form is simply solving for y. And we want to do this for this question here. You've got an equation of a line that passes through, find the slope-intercept form of the equation of a line that passes through this point and has this slope. So I'll write down the pertinent information. 3, negative 4 is a point that this thing goes through, and the slope is 7. You get two options here. Hawks likes to run you through point-slope form. This little equation here. So this is what Hawks does. I'll run through what some people say. This is point-slope. You follow this equation. So y minus, here's my y1 value, that's negative 4. My m value is 7. I just put the x there. x1, 3, so minus 3. So the x and the y here just stay there. So the y1, x1, they come from this point right here. Y plus 4 equals 7x. I'm just going to distribute that 7, minus 21. Subtract off of 4. The reason why I'm subtracting off 4 is I want to get y by itself, because that's slope-intercept form. There's slope-intercept form. This equation, if you graphed it, would go through this point, and it would have this slope. Interesting enough. Now, here's what I do. You can see if you like it better this way. I just plug in what I know into slope-intercept form. I know the m. I don't really know what the y-intercept is. But I do know that this point is on the line. If something is on the line or the graph, it's legal to plug it in. So I can plug in negative 4 here, 3 right there. Now I got b by itself. Solve for b. Negative 25 is my b-value. So I'm going to put that right there where that b-value is. Y equals 7x minus 25. And either way works, right? We get the same answer either way. So either way works. You do what you got to do. Pick your poison. The only way this can be any different is if instead of them giving you the slope and a point, they just give you 2 points. So here they're given 2 points. They say, write the standard form. They want the standard form this time of the equation of a line that passes through these 2 points. Well, before I needed the slope and I needed a point, and I was able to get the answer. Well, only thing I'm missing here is the slope. I've got 2 points. I've got enough points, but I just need the slope. So first off, I want the slope. Got to have that for either way. So subtract your y values. Subtract your x values. See, 5 plus negative 5 plus 9, that'd be 4. Oh, it simplifies to negative 3/4. So, I don't know why I wrote that twice. That was kind of ridiculous. So the slope is negative 3/4. And here's here's the way I prefer to do this. I write in what I know. Okay. And then I pick a point and I plug it in. So I'm gonna plug in, I like using zeros. Three and 5 make 15. Subtract off 15/4. I get negative 15/4 equals b. And that's my b value right there. Y equals negative 3/4 x minus 15/4. Now, they want this in standard form, so I need to move the standard form, right? This is in slope-intercept form. I'm going to need to move the x value over to make it standard. So it becomes a positive 3/4. Okay, that's standard form. Now Hawks doesn't like you put fractions in here for some reason, so I'll multiply everything by 4. If I multiply everything by 4, it'll kill off these 2 denominators, but I still have a 4y there. So there would be my standard form equation of a line. Now remember how a second ago where I said there's 2 different ways of doing that question, right? Point slope, and this guy. Let's try point slope. Let's see if that would have been any easier. I don't think it would have been, but it might have been. Who knows? We don't know until you try. So I do know the slope is still negative 3/4, and I'll still use my point right there. Put my y value in, put my slope in, and then put my x value in. So it's just going to be y equals negative 3/4 x, right? Multiply this over here. That'd be a plus 5 now. 3 times 5 is negative 15. Huh, that was a lot easier. I wonder why. Well, negative 5 is that 0 business here. That negative 5 business made it easier for us. So that was a lot quicker. Still need the negative 3/4 x over here. So I'm gonna move it and make it a positive 3/4 x plus y equals negative 15 over 4. Multiply everything by 4 again. Looks like my method was quite a bit longer. I guess that's why they have this other form. So either way, you're going to get the same answer. Doesn't matter. Sometimes one way is easier, sometimes the other way is easier. It's just it's your decision to make.